Hey everyone, Daniel from DGD Producer. Today I have another LEGO City update for you. Now that my parts have arrived, I am really excited now to get so much updates on my modulars. So yeah, let's get right into it without wasting any time. So I thought I'd start with something quite small in terms of updating stuff, and that is my pub modular. Now, if you notice right at the back there, I have updated this. Instead of it being this colour orange, I've chosen the dark orange, as it was just because I ordered one of them and I thought, it works better to be like that because I ordered 4. I also, if I zoom out, got the parts to make another lamppost to do that. And also, if we look at this part here, I've got a ton of pieces here. So the dark red ones, you may guess that this is for Nelson and Murdoch, but the grey ones, I'm actually, like these ones, are planning to be used on the pub. So what I'll just do is this. Just get another long one instead to make that fill it in. So yeah, that is essentially all I can do with that. So now I've got that all around the edges, which then means I can then work on a roof design, which I haven't started at the minute, and I probably won't start it for a while. But yeah, that is all I can really do on the pub modular. And now moving on to the next one, and the model I'm most excited to work on is Nelson and Murdoch, because now I have got a lot of dark red masonry bricks. I've got the 1x2s, which I want, which will, so I've decided I'm going to switch out the masonry bricks I chose to do. Some 1x1s, which I've still got plenty of 1x1s here to help sort out, obviously, the the red 1x1 bricks that are plaguing the front and the back, but that will be easy fix. And a few 1x3s, 1x4s to around the back instead, because obviously I may not want to use all the 1x2s. So yeah, let's jump into a time lapse to get the few bricks placed around the back and now the front. Since that is in fact now fully done. Now obviously notice I took apart these parts as well, because these are actually just made up lots of 1x1s. I thought it'd just make it look much smarter if I just did place them with the 1x1s I've got. Now obviously I've got plenty of the 1x1s left over, obviously I didn't really touch this part over here, but again, that could be used for the sides and everything, and maybe even other floors in the future when I do a bit more, obviously. So yeah, and now looking at the side, looking at the back, it now looks much smarter, if I do say so. Obviously, this part will be sorted out something else. So yeah, let's move on to the second time lapse to get, well, a bit more of this done. So yes, we have now in fact done. Yeah, some of it's a bit loose, but when it comes to flattening the first floors, obviously with tiles like this, I am probably going to try and make sure I do overlap it, so it's like something like that means that that's all then stuck together. That's something that the new shops had a problem with as well, that you could just take the back off, but honestly with something like that, it does work to an extent because it means that you get access to the back. So I do like that slight feature, and it makes it much easier for me to get into the interior if I need to, especially on the new shop. But looking at the front now, I think it looks much cleaner with the just the regular 1x2 bricks. I think that makes it much more smoother, and even at the back, it's a similar thing. But now the next thing to do, I think, is looking at where this is now. 1, 2, 3. That's only one more, so obviously I need to do at least 2 more here. And I actually think with the bricks I have, I'm probably going to be able to get most of the masonry sections for this finished in this update, which will be very exciting. So yeah, let's jump right into time lapse and get that done. Obviously, after checking with the makeshift ruler I made to make sure that was in fact lined up, because on some angles a little bit it doesn't look like it is. actually in line at one point when I was looking at it. But yeah, I'm really happy to actually have most of the first floor done, and these are actually all the masonry bricks I have left in dark red. So just glad to see a lot of that done. So yeah, looking at that, I think I'm going to start tiling off, I think, most of it. That's something I'm probably going to start doing, I think, soon. But obviously, I've had the stairs in here for a while. What am I going to do is, obviously, matching how this lines up, I think we can very easily connect it about there. And then if we leave a bit, in fact, let's take a stud back a bit, because obviously these are quite big. So obviously doing something like this wouldn't quite, but you guys can't see that. But I mean, if I turn it like this, having it like that is a possibility. And if I move that a bit like more that way, oh, I'll just put that back in, see if that does fit. Right, let's move that just so I can place that in the, like that. It doesn't quite look like it's gonna fit, because I do want obviously this to be the ground floor. Obviously, we want to put stairs. I'm just looking, because if I do it like this, you could still put like a reception desk, which is what I'm planning on doing, in there under this desk, which could be kind of cool. I kind of like that idea, and obviously having it see like that, it does go one over, but again, I'll leave a space probably around that chunk there for the stairs to go up. So I think for now, that's where the stairs will probably be placed. I think I kind of like that idea. I think maybe once I get started on floor 2, which will not be in this video, and probably not even the next update, because I have a different idea what I'm going to do on the next update, and I'll probably talk about that maybe a bit more later. But I think for now, other than maybe getting into quick time lapse and maybe just doing some of the tiling, that'd be what I do now. So yeah, let's jump into that. So yeah, taking a final look, I haven't been able to do too much. I think now I need to really work on getting parts for the sides. So obviously that will mean a few of them. Obviously I've still got a few 1x2s and a few 1x4s. I thought that was just my lamp. So I have enough to potentially still go across both ends, which works really well. So that will still get done, so I won't worry about that. I just need to order a ton of 1x2s and 1x4s in terms of that. So we'll just place some like that. For now, I think even there, I don't think I'm going to work on, I think, any more of this. I think this will probably be a later update. Now, obviously, the question is why I've left 4 studs there. That is actually for the 1x4 tile with the 2 studs at the end, like most modulars use. That is so I can actually obviously keep them connected and obviously still start to put places for the second floor. That's the same thing I've not done on this side. Obviously, I don't have any 1x2s in dark red. I may double check to see if I do. And I may need to check if I have another 1x1 in red, dark red, like I have done here, to place them on there. So then when it goes across, they will be connected to this side. So yeah, that's really all I can really do for this module at the minute. I obviously haven't worked on the floor yet. I'm still deciding what colour I want, because I debated on actually having like a pattern going round to make it almost seem like red and black. Like a bright red, not dark red, because that would blend in too much. Or red and yellow, like just something like it's like almost like a Daredevil costume color scheme to make it almost like it's just a hint of Matt Murdock being Daredevil, which I kind of like the idea of, but I'm not sure how I feel about it now. It's one of those things I'm probably gonna have to revisit, I think, in the future. But yeah, that is really all I can do on Nelson Murdock. So yeah, let's move on to the next modular. So it has actually been a while since this module has been seen, which is my news shop. I haven't been able to do much progress on it. Obviously, the walls are still the same and all that. It's just because I haven't been able to do much, because I just don't have parts to do things with. And now I have, for example, I've ordered another one of these, which I said I would do, to go like that. I actually ordered 2 more because I took this off the drawer into a notice set, and I wanted to get an extra one so I could put that back on there. So if we just lift this up like this, you can see I can now place that. See that like that. Which then if we put that on there, honestly, hang on, is that this? Yeah, but it's the same, but it's created 4 left. I'm actually hoping to get the roof done today. Obviously, at the minute, it is a pain to do the roof. If I just get underneath... In fact, you know what? It's easier just to do this. 1, 2. Then I can place that firmly on, I think. I'm going to also, I think, connect them, and I think we also need to connect these underneath so the roof doesn't break itself. But actually, I kind of can't do it from the edge. That's not what, okay. So if I just, yeah, it's going to be a lot of me fiddling with this because it's actually quite annoying to do. I kind of regret going this route, I think, with the roof. Okay. I'll be back in one moment, guys, I think, because I seriously need to figure this out. After a long progress, I've finally got the roof back on and I do some modifications. So I have now sort of attached them together. Now what I'm also going to try and do, which this could probably also go really wrong, I think, is slowly add a few more things onto here. So this, yes, it is. I've got a few of these because I needed quite a few of them, I think, at this point as well. I honestly think I'm going to need like 1x4 just to connect these together, so you can't really see that at the minute. So then also got this, which can go on there like that. And then hopefully I have 2 more of these. Oh, I've screwed this up. I've realized I screwed the roof up, I think. Because at this point, it should be sort of done. I need... Wait, if I turn that down, just so I can show you guys. I genuinely don't know what I've done because I swear I did the maths right several times. This is getting really confusing. I guess I may not be finishing it in today's episode. That's odd. I mean, I have enough, I think, other tiles to do it, but it's just the fact of I need to connect them up. Wait a second. Okay, I do, which can then obviously do that. So obviously I need to connect them all up. So I just do this, but it doesn't look really good at the minute. So I think at the minute what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to take the roof apart and I think just try something in a time lapse. So yeah, let's do that. So after rejigging the whole entire roof design I had planned, this is what I've now come up with. I'm not going to open the thing, but if you saw, I put more of the, just put some 1x4 plates underneath to make it more supportive. So yeah, that looks a lot better now, and it now completely lines up, which is fantastic and what I wanted. So yeah, that's really all I can do on the news job. Hopefully this one can get done soon. I now just need to do the interior, which will probably require me taking up some of the floor. And so I'm glad that if I just pull off the 1x4 plate, I can just straight up remove the roof. Sorry, not the roof, the back wall, so I can actually access it a bit better, which is, I think, pretty cool. So yeah, let's move on to the next modular. So yeah, now we have the park, which is the last module I'm going to be working on today. I have managed to find 2 1x6s. Obviously that came in the order with a lot of the 1x1s and everything for the Austin Modular building, but they can now smoothly go in there, completely completing the pathway, which is very, very exciting. But along with that, I'm holding another lamp post. I managed to get parts to make 2 light posts, which obviously you saw on the pub and obviously now the park, which can go right there, which is really exciting. Now I haven't done one for Nelson and Murdoch, and I've obviously not got one for the news shop. But obviously, when looking at other modulars like the pet shop, let's say, which is a classic modular, that actually, that's when I was looking at it closer, there was actually no lamppost, and that's honestly interesting because that's a modular that has two 16 by 32 base plates, which I think I need to recheck the bookshop as well if that had a similar thing. But I know for the bookshop, the actual bookshop side had the tree. Maybe I don't think the house did actually have a lamppost. So I think for 16 by 32 base plates, Lego won't give them lampposts, which is actually really interesting. But yeah, moving on to that, I do actually have a few other things. We'll start with this, and that's the Lego Hidden Side polybag. Now, if you guys didn't know, I did a full Lego Hidden Side series, which ran 4 seasons, and I managed to tell the whole story. But this was a polybag I wanted to get, but I never got in time to do the show. And even if I did get it, I probably wouldn't put it in the show anyway. But this is Chef Enzo's Haunted Hot Dogs. Now, the reason why is because I thought, well, it's a park. People are going to be eating food here. So I thought, on the outside with one of these jumper tiles, I could actually place the Haunted Hot Dog stand. So yeah, I actually think let's build this right now. So before we get into the polybag, I did notice when looking at obviously the back of the instructions, was actually that this is a Wave 2 polybag, and I do own like these 2 sets. I was tempted to get this one, but never got it, honestly. It was interesting, this set. This set was kind of cool, and the Lighthouse was fine, but I decided not to really get those ones. Yeah, that's the Chef Enzo's polybag instruction manual, which I think was really interesting. Looking at the spares, you get an extra hot dog, which is not too bad. You get an extra stud, you get an extra eyepiece, and you just get a few extra parts, which is not bad. The only useful one I'd really say is the hot dog one, honestly, because you can have him holding it. Now, because obviously this is a haunted one, obviously that's the only problem I'd say, is that you don't get an alternate head to take off to make it more civilized. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that myself, but honestly, I can now just place it somewhere in the city. Obviously, because he has an extra hand free, I can put it maybe here and him right there. Just see that? Maybe place it on the corner or somewhere else. I'm not sure. Well, actually, could this spot be better? I actually think this spot actually could be better because it's right on the pathway. Yes, the 2 jumpers are close together. In fact, what I may do is, in fact, since I've got extra jumper tiles, I'm actually going to leave spots specifically for this hot dog stand. Because honestly, it is going to stay in the city no matter what. I don't know if the minifigure will though. But then that means, honestly, I could do, let's say, that. And how far does that go across? So for now, I think, oh, it actually doesn't, okay, that doesn't work. Okay, that's fine. I don't want it entirely at the front, I think. So actually, I want to place it, if I just, so I should have a brake separator on you. I'm going to place it right here, I think. And then place Chef Enzo right here, I think. Well, you can't really see him, actually. Or place that there and him right on the edge. There you go, that looks much better, I think. And obviously that clears up another jumper tile. Yeah, with that done, let's now look into the next part of this. And what I'm going to quickly look at, I think, is just a part I really wanted to do for a while. It's in fact the gates. They finally have come, and I'm really excited for this because I can now place that right there. And this is when I hope I've done my maths right, because if I haven't, I'll be very sad. I've done the maths right, thank goodness for that. I was genuinely worried that, is that going to be enough to fit 2 gates in? So I'm going to finally have that, like that. If I turn, so if I do turn that around, you can see that we have gates, which is all very exciting. But along with that, obviously in here we have the studs, which can now go smoothly on the front here. So I'm going to do this while talking, I think, because, right, I can't. Knowing that they do fit, I can just take them off, I think. Take the gates off the hinges. And actually, now that I know they do fit, I can actually work on something else as well. And that's in fact why I've still got 4 extra clips. Because I actually want to make sure that gates do have more space to go. Because, obviously with a few things, you know, it may need to be double checked and everything. So I can do that. do this gate quickly. And the last gate, in fact, is here. 2, 4, 6. Oh, I need 8 studs, not 12. Well, a few extra gold studs, I guess, for like money, but could that fit in? I know. Actually, something I forgot to mention that I've done is actually I've tiled off the fountain. So if I zoom in quickly, see that's tiled off. I managed to get enough pieces to do that. But yeah, before we get into sort of like the pathway, which I'll do in a time lapse, I wanted to just talk about this one right here. Obviously, I've got an extra newspaper tile. If I zoom, actually, that's gonna just go to the news shop immediately. I'm just gonna. So unfortunately, I can't get it in the store now because I've put a roof on it. That's fine. I know where that is. And I've also got these 2x2s, which can in fact just go on the edges where the Technic pins are. I thought that'd be pretty useful. So there's obviously only this one there and one right there. That's all of them, I think. Yep, that's fine. I've got a few extra. I've got a few spare. A lot of the other ones I do have, unfortunately, sun faded, so these are good just to replenish that. But obviously it is these 1x1s, and that is because I actually want to make sure I can get a few more stuff going up. I'll just place one over there very quickly. But it also depends how high I want to go. In fact, I'm going to move this quickly just so I show what I mean, because what I kind of want to do is increase the height on this to maybe 3 and put another one of these on top there just to make it look a bit better. Looking at Inside Grave, it doesn't do it as high, but I wanted to see how high this goes. Oh, that's actually perfect height. So yeah, I should have enough for this. Another 1, 2, 3 going up, and then another one of these which I'm holding. It is really cool to actually start seeing the park truly come together. The gates was something I'd had like mindset day one. That's all really cool to finally see. There's our place, my Chef Enzo's haunted hot dog stand. That could be a cool gimmick, I guess he has. And turning this around, I'll do the same thing again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and then place both of these. Actually, that's going to be interesting with the tree there. I guess I'll just lift the leaf up quickly. Place that like that. And there we, let's just slide that in and then connect them up. There, that is in fact the gates done. But one last thing I want to do is that these 1x1s, unlike this one, have tiles on top. So if I just pull this out, oh, we've got a few extra 2x2s. I guess I must have done that from 2 waters then. I should have enough, so obviously 1, 2, 3, 4. That's actually not on the center. Do that. And even these, hopefully, praying I have enough because it doesn't look like I do. I actually really do hope I have enough, actually, because I don't think oh no, I do. I have just the perfect amount. Normally I order 1 or 2 extra in case I miscounted, but apparently I didn't do that for this one. Oh, that's getting. So yeah, a lot of this is actually getting pretty close to completion, which is really exciting. If I show you from this angle as well, you can see a lot more. This was actually really exciting. Obviously, which now means the last few things I need to do is the fountain, which I have 1 or 2 ideas on what I want to do for that, but I don't have the parts to finish that in today's update, but also the path, which means this is honestly going to be the first custom modular I complete. Hopefully before update 10. It won't be complete in the next update. I've kind of been teasing something, and you'll see what that is later on, and that is, I've kind of already said it already, but if you guys have been really paying attention to the wording I've used on certain things, you'll know exactly what it is. But yeah, the park module is almost complete. But yeah, let's, I think, move on to the pathway. So while actually having to work on the park and trying to open the gates, I realised that the gates wouldn't actually open. So what I've had to do is, while I'm showing you here, I've had to place 1 plate down there and remove 1 brick and replaced it with a 1x1 plate again, a second one, on all the gates to make sure that they do in fact work. So if I then so then now I can in fact open the gates. So, although unfortunately they're a bit flimsy, so I'm not going to really do that very often. There we go. Although there is a stud there actually, so I should probably replace it, I think. So yeah, that's really about it. So I think what I'm going to just quickly do is tear into this very quickly. I'll do that off camera, I think, before hopefully now starting the time lapse. So yes, after that time lapse, the pathway is fine. I didn't obviously notice the trees were falling off, so I just decided to take them off while working on the path. But honestly, when I moved the camera, my phone around a few times so you could see different angles of what I was doing. But you can see pretty much the path has been done, which is really cool to think about. So now if I close these gates up, the path now goes around in a full square or circle sort of. So you can see it all like that. Obviously I had to take out one of the flowers. I may just stick that like right there, I think, for now. So yeah, I think that is mostly it for what I can do on the pathway. But I think there's still one more thing I want to look at for the park itself. So the last thing I want to do to my modular park is actually add some olive green leaves, like the stem pieces and the two types of stem pieces that we've got, just on a few of the plants. I got these when I went to a recent Lego store trip, so I got these on the pick-a-brick wall, so which is pretty cool. So I could just add a few, maybe one right, if I move this guy out of the way, one right there, just to make sure that maybe it's not been as loved, it's not been as well looked after. Could have another one potentially here, especially ones if they're closer to the to the pathway, because maybe they don't get as much. I think it could be kind of cool. Maybe even a few back here as well, because, well, these don't seem to be looked after as much. It's just a few just to add a bit more life. Well, I don't have to do this. It's meant to make it look less full of life, but I think that was pretty good. I've got plenty still left over, but you can see there's one there, and one there, and I've added two right there in terms of the stems, which just so as you can see it. There you go. Don't think there's really anywhere else you could add them more. Maybe another one like here, because it's got another stem on there. I think that could be kind of good. It's just to add a little bit of character to some of the plants to make them not all the same. But yeah, that's really about it in terms of the plants, in terms of the park module. So yeah, that's all I could do on the park. So I actually realised while looking through a few things that I could get started on the fountain. It's something I wanted to start doing, but haven't really got the parts to do. But my solution is that since 1x1s don't actually exist in a translucent blue for some reason yet, I'm using the regular blue colour for all the pieces, and then when it comes to the actual fountain itself, I'm using these pieces. But obviously you can still see that, so I've got a tub of the 1x2 translucents. I'll show you a better detail, which is the same colour. So I think let's jump into a quick time lapse and see what we can do on the fountain. So in terms of progress on the fountain itself, I think it's started to go well. Unfortunately, this isn't in center, and there's actually no feasible way for me to actually get it in center. So if I just and open the gates, it really isn't possible to get it in center. Like if I lift this up, it's a 2x2 left, and unfortunately it's a 1x2. Because I saw a really cool video on like Instagram. I can't remember the person who did it, but they're doing like a medieval like city, and they used this piece, which I thought was a really clever technique as the fountain. I have to have it on this angle, unfortunately, But honestly, I think if you have like on the front here, having it like that, I think just means that you could have some like a child stand there, and it could work. Obviously, the plan is to just build off of it, like build up. Eventually, I do want to turn it into one stream. Unfortunately, 1x2s, like 1x2 with a stone mill, for example, because I have one right handy. This one, this type of brick, this tile right here. If I see it better. This doesn't come in like a translucent color, so I've kind of got to really think about how I'm going to do that to get it like on top, then get into one single stream, so that I can then eventually place down one of these pieces. That's really the end goal, and once that's done, this whole modular is done. So honestly, if I really annoyed that I couldn't find a way to get it done this update, because it would have been a modular, and by the 6th update, it would be fun to actually say that I've finished a custom modular. But unfortunately, that's not what's happening. But yeah, that's all I can fully do on this modular. So yeah, that's all the updates progress I've been able to do on these modules, which, shockingly enough, is the first time I think in this whole series I've been able to work on all 4 modules at the same time. It's either been 1 module or it's been 2 modules. The most I've actually worked on is 3. Like, I think update 5 had obviously the park, but also the pub and Nelson and Murdoch. Update 1 I think was Nelson and Murdoch, the new shop, and the park. So really, all 4 haven't really shared an episode together, which is really cool to think about. But that's not the only thing I've mentioned. I have mentioned, I think, once or twice in this video that the next update will be a very different update. And I've been heavily teasing what that is. And I thought, you know what? I can't show the full thing because it will not fit. But if I just do this and move the pub and Nelson and Murdoch and the news shop and the park out of the way, I'm going to show you the back of the box because it's the only way to show you the actual thing it is. Yes, I have a modular. Now, which of the 3 is it? I'm just going to say it is the pet shop. I have the pet shop. This is what this massive box is. And this is hopefully what the next update is. This is the first time I've teased what the next update is because, well, other than just working on the modules I've already started, there hasn't been much to tease. Like, I would have teased update 2 if I knew that was going to be update 2. But yeah, I really have to have the pet shop. This will definitely be added to the Lego City. Obviously, I think within this update will be building it. Maybe I'll do an update after the first half, then after the second half, and then placing it into the city as well. But obviously, immediately I was going to make this just update 6, but I think looking at how far I've got to do on the park, I may honestly also try to finish the park modular. Hopefully I can figure something out in terms of what I want to do. But yeah, I have that job. This one has come quite a shock because I wasn't actually expecting to get this one this soon. But yeah, I'm really excited to have this another townhouse. I'll probably, hinting to what I'm tempted to do, I'll probably place this townhouse next to the one from the bookshop. So yeah, these buildings will probably be separate, but you never know. So yes, thank you all very much for watching this video. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below. What was your favourite modification I've done to my modulars? Was it the pub? Was it the Nelson and Murdoch? Or is it the reveal of the pet shop? So yeah, thank you all very much for watching this video. And I'll see you all in another video. Okay guys, goodbye.